Good afternoon, beautiful beings of light. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancients. My name's Priscilla. This is my friend and co-host Heather, and today we have the lovely Sunpsychic Jean joining us. Thank you for being here today, young lady. It's great to see you. Hi, everyone in the chat. Good to see you guys.
Yes.
So nice to see everybody. Hi, I'm sorry, I had something else. I had something playing in the background. Hey, Heather. Hey, Priscilla. So nice to be here. Hi, everybody.
It's great to have you, girlfriend.
It is.
Hi, Viviana and Akila, MJ. MJ, I need your address. You won a deck of cards, and we have not gotten your email. So I need your address to mail those cards to you, sweetheart. Please, please. And Viviana, hi. Yay, we've got lots of peoples here. So we're going to let Jean start off the conversation today. We're not really going to do cards or anything like that. We're going to talk about things like unity consciousness and authenticity, those types of things. And we would really love it for you guys to join in.
Yeah.
So
comments are more than welcome.
Yeah, your comments are more than welcome and encouraged. And your questions too. But like I said, we're not doing card reading, so I apologize if anybody thinks or is here for that.
Well, you're in for a wonderful treat, and like Priscilla said, it's important for everybody to be. Well, if you'd like to participate, we encourage you to participate, and we're going to be asking your opinion and your questions or what you feel in the topics that we're talking about. And primarily, Heather and Priscilla did an amazing, beautiful show. Just was it last week? The Unity Consciousness show. Was it last week?
I can't remember what day it was.
2 shows back. It was just recently.
On the 23rd.
The 23rd.
Yeah. It wasn't very long ago at all, just 5 days ago. So it was very impactful and such a huge subject that I thought it would be a wonderful idea to have a little bit of a group discussion and, sharing some thoughts and ideas and perspective. And this is primarily from the work that Priscilla and Heather did together, and they do the research and come up with the information. And it was just, I was getting like hits throughout the entire show. It was really.
I love that. I would just love that. And I love that you want to talk about it, because really what we're presenting is just
the information.
Just information, and a discussion about it with other people is much more impactful for me.
Yes.
To discuss the different ideas. I love dissecting it. I guess it is. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And it's so nice to see everybody here. And so the very first words that began the show was our thoughts, our words, and our actions impact everyone, everything in the universe.
Exactly.
So it's not just our community. It's that pebble in the water that ripples out. And they always tell us, I get messages from the spirit guides and the loved ones on the other side that say, we have no idea the impact that we make, not only here on earth with our loved ones, with our community, with the world, but the universe, what we do impacts the universe.
Because everything is energy, everything is a vibration.
And any kind of vibration can change it.
Good or bad.
Right. Exactly.
Higher or lower.
Yeah, it's like when you have with their higher and lower. I mean, if you have one vibration that's in there that's higher than the lower, you're going to raise it. but you're at the same time lowering that higher vibration so that they meet closer together.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Kind of
I
how
think
our guides talk to us. They have
Yeah.
to lower their vibration to. We have
So,
to keep ours raised so they can hear us and we can hear them.
mhm,
And
exactly.
there's also a saying that goes, "As above, so below," or and I believe that this is what they're trying to tell us. It's a beautiful concept. Hey, what's up, Seeker Joan? How you
Hey,
doing? So nice
Joan.
Hey,
to
Joan.
see you.
When they
Um,
meet, that's when you can communicate, which means they do bring it down as above, they bring it down, and we try to go up.
mhm.
So as above, then below. Yeah.
And you wonder, it says our thoughts and our words and our actions. And we can maybe assume that our actions may be impactful or our words may be impactful, but some may say our thoughts. How would our thoughts be impactful? So, and what I say is that we are all sentient beings who are telepathic. We all have the loved ones on the other side, and the spirit guides always tell me, we can hear what you think. We can hear your thoughts. We can hear what you say to yourself. They can hear us. So our thoughts carry out. If they can hear us,
Mhm.
the energy goes out to the community. So it's really important to have integrity and congruent thoughts, words, and actions. Walk in integrity. Walk your
Mm-hmm.
talk.
Well,
Well,
just
think
think
of,
of, I'm
go
sorry.
ahead.
I was just going to say, think about that monkey mind and what it's been doing to us all these years. And it's never nice.
And think about
The
when you
monkey mind is
judge.
not nice. All it does is judge you for everything that you've ever thought about doing or thinking about going to do.
Yeah, and anybody who judges is bringing the levels
Vibration
down.
low. So if we can do that to ourselves, that energy is still going out to the universe.
Right.
That negative energy of poor self talk. So it is really important how you talk to yourself, and don't
It,
let that monkey mind control.
That's right.
It is, and it means a lot. And the next concept or the next thing that that was on the show, I first of all, I highly recommend that you go back and watch the show.
Oh,
It's just
thank you,
packed
honey.
full of information.
Thank you.
And our higher self is part of a larger universal system. So we are humans here in a human body. Inside of this human body is a soul, is our spirit or our soul. It is a vibrational, energetic being inside of our human body that is connected to the rest of us that is on the other side. And I think, I'm not sure who says it, it's approximately 30% of our soul is here within our human body, and about 70% of us is still in the spirit form, is in an energetic form on the other side.
Well,
I'm not
actually, I've been reading a book lately, and I don't have the title with me, but it is about souls, and they're saying actually we come down in pairs, and one stays above and one comes down, and the one up above is helping the one that's down below,
Interesting.
so that and they're just fractals of an oversoul. So there's just so much to it, and I have found this book really interesting. And I did want to say on the last point that you had, we were trying to say stay neutral and don't be judgmental. It's like the difference between thinking with your head versus thinking with your heart.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's absolutely more important to think with your heart and send
Yep.
out the right vibes.
Yeah. And so the next statement that I wanted to bring up is that we are awakening to the understanding that we are in unity or part of the source. And this is the energetic soul that is inside all of us as being humans. We are awakening to knowing that we have this connection to our source,
Mm-hmm.
that we are walking with spirit inside of us.
Right.
And it's an energy. it's an energy, it's an awareness, it's a frequency. And all of this is going to play a part. The reason why we want to tell you and talk to you and share this information so that you can share this with others is that humanity is going through an evolution, and our frequency and vibration will be raising, and we're going to be moving into a new dimension. And this is also shown in the astrology too, when we move into the age of Aquarius.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which some believe started in December 2012.
I believe, yes, it did.
Because of
absolutely.
the alignment at that time of the planets.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's amazing, you guys. Aw, Scott's here. Scott says, thank you so much
Hi,
for coming
Scott.
on the live. Aw.
Hi,
He's so
Scott.
sweet. You're welcome, Scott. You did an amazing job. Absolutely. Thank you for coming by and saying that. You're so sweet. We had the whole fan base going on over at Scott's channel. I was relentless, but anyway, everybody's got to go over to Scott Scorpio Sun Moon, Scott Scorpio Sun Tarot and check it out. That moon and sun really gets me.
Unsubscribed.
Yeah.
Yeah, and check out his show. He did an amazing job. He really did. He was a pro. I was very proud of him for sure. I'm sorry, guys.
That's all right.
So
Go
also
Scott.
connecting.
It's just an example of our tribe, all of us standing up for one of us.
Exactly.
And everybody has everybody else's back. And that's what's necessary.
Absolutely. So beautiful.
Standing
so
in
beautiful.
your truth.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Everybody's saying.
Can you go back to your last question or thing we were talking about?
That we're coming to the understanding that we are in unity or part of the source.
Okay.
And actually that book says this too. So
yeah.
And it's reaffirming a lot of things that I already knew. And it's
You'll have to bring it for Tuesday so we can figure out what you're talking about.
It's an incredible book. I really have been tuned into it.
She does, Jackie. She's a great cheerleader. She always has been for us.
Yes.
Yeah.
You guys are sweet. So
we all need cheerleaders. Come on.
Exactly.
And this community is full of them.
Absolutely.
What we love about it.
Yeah. So the next statement that I wanted to maybe bring up and talk about is connecting with our soul or higher self to realize our own divinity. And this comes in layers. This comes in awareness that opens up, or synchronicities or aha moments. Things occur. It doesn't happen. Sometimes it happens pretty quickly, like a Kundalini, what is that? Kundalini something. But for the awareness of our own divinity, it comes in cycles. It comes in little bits and little pieces and little layers. And each one builds on top of another. And it's important for us to be patient with ourselves. And a lot of us are getting these nudges, these little notions, which are messages from spirit, to pay attention to something that is outside of ourselves and not just our egoic self, not just our human self. So for an example, and I love T-Barb. I don't know if she's here today, but she asked me a question on one of the live shows, and she said, Jean, there was like a chipmunk or somebody outside on her back deck. And every morning this chipmunk would come and it would like talk to her and do all these things and climb on the sliding glass door. And she would greet this little, I don't know if it was a squirrel or a chipmunk or something, this little creature on her deck every morning. And she says, I swear that animal was like communicating with me. She said, I looked into that animal's eyes and I could feel his spirit. And I said,
How
T-Barb,
beautiful.
it was really beautiful. And I said, T-Barb, that was your mirror. He was your mirror. That little animal was a mirror. So later on in the chat, she says, thanks for the reading, Jean. She says, but what do you mean by mirror? And I said, when you look at that little chipmunk and you look into his eyes and you see his spirit, you realize it is your spirit that sees his spirit, and he is reflecting your spirit back to you. And this is a realization that because she is more than just human, that
Wow.
she is spirit, that she can see his spirit. He is more than just chipmunk. He is a spirit. He has a spirit. We are sentient beings. We are spiritual beings. And this is an awareness. So sometimes these things come in layers like this when we have an
Oh, wow.
occurrence like that might happen.
Mm-hmm. That is
Mhm.
just beautiful.
Mhm.
So I don't know if you wanted to take a minute and see if anybody wanted to share what they might, if they had any.
Well, I
real-
have one question. I'm not sure what it has to do with today's show.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be more of like a reading. Maybe we can save it to the end. Maybe when we're done, we can do a couple of them. Would that be okay?
Please, White Dragon. We'll do it towards the end. I don't see any other
Okay.
questions here.
Okay. So, guys, let us know if you have.
Just a lot of nice comments about how much they like the subject. So that's
Oh, good. And do
guys.
you feel how you feel when we're talking about this? Do you feel how things are changing in you, that you have, it's like an optimism. It's like a hope. You have hope and you have a resonance. There is something that is lifting inside of you. This is your spirit awakening and becoming more like you. When you notice something, it's more prominent. Whereas you may not, if you're doing something and you don't notice it, it may be in the background. But once you stop and you take notice of it, it becomes more real, or a stronger kind of feeling or thought. So let's go ahead and go on. So along with the realization of our own divinity, there are ways that we can realize this is through compassion. When we feel compassion, like T Barb did for the little critter on her deck, on her porch. Peace. When we feel peace, this is from our soul's vibration, from our higher self. When we feel joy, this is a spiritual connection. When we feel joy, this is coming through our soul's vibration. This is the joy that's coming up in us. And it's a good way to connect to our higher self, to our divine self, and to the spiritual self.
Very true.
Mhm.
Very true. I connect the best through meditation myself. I have to get quiet. I have a really chattery head. I have to get quiet. And for years, I've used a Kundalini meditation that's about a half an hour. But lately, I've not done that. In the last couple of weeks, all of a sudden, my meditation is without any kind of music. I just go out on the lanai and sit in my chair and close my eyes, and boom. I'm not sure where I am a lot of the time, but that's all right.
That makes a lot of sense, though.
But
Your brain has decided, oh, we're going to meditate. Well, let's do it.
yeah, let's go there. I don't know
Yeah.
if that was my QHHT regression that did that. You know, so much has been influenced since I had that regression done that I can see the growth in myself, the movement.
I too had a QHHT session, and it has changed me forever as well. And once you tap into that reality and your higher self, and this is what it does, it puts you into a very relaxed state so that you can connect to your higher self, and you are in communication with your higher self and receive information. This is something that connection that was made during that QHHT is there to stay and will
Oh
be
yeah,
there. And
I
that's what you're.
agree. And you know from that session that you were connected no matter what you've ever thought before in your life, even if you thought you were connected, once you've had that, you don't forget it. You know, you just know. And I don't think there's any feeling like that because it's unconditional love too.
It is. It is. And you all who are here and are listening now or listening later, you all understand that this is the awareness. It's not whether it's real or not, because it's always been there and it always will be there. But the awareness, the ability for us as humans to
Remembering.
be aware of this happening and this existing inside of us is enabling us to move forward on our spiritual path. This being aware of this and walking with our thoughts, with our words, with our actions, with this awareness that we are a soul or a spirit carried through in this human. And it changes the world.
It really does.
Hmm. Hmm.
I'm very thankful for that experience.
Hmm. One of the other things that they mention for connection is harmony. And I love this. I'm very sound sensitive and I feel the harmony with other souls. I say that when I connect to their soul's vibration, there's like a harmony going on. The harmonics of the frequency is harmony,
I
the
love that.
vibration, and the Earth's frequency is also a harmonic. That was such an important word, and all of this is found on this show, you guys. In the first 5 minutes of the show, when these ladies are presenting this information, I was blown away. It just meant so much to me. And I'm like, do they know?
Okay, I want to add something to the harmony part of it and how it sounds like music to you. In the past life regression I had, the QHHT session I had, I went back to the creation of the universe as that spark of energy with all the gazillion other sparks of energy that were there.
Mhm.
And it was music, it was harmony. I just got chills. It was music and harmony moving in a spiral nature with the energy of joy. That's how our universe is created, in my experience.
And this
And
is what
really,
we all, oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
I was just going to say, this is what we all carry within us, is that creation of the universe, that harmony. It's all
Mhm.
available to us right here, all of us.
Mhm.
Nobody is excluded.
That's
And
absolutely true.
I was going to say the first way that I knew that somebody was communicating with me
Oh yeah.
was through music in my head, and they wouldn't stop till I wrote it down, the notes, so that I have this one
Mhm.
notebook full of melodies, and the melodies belong to each individual or a couple. I have my mom and dad's together, my dad's by itself. Now, I needed her to channel for me because I wasn't hearing who they were. But if I sang the melody, she could tell me because somebody would tell her who that was. So on certain
True.
occasions, it got to be where one person who came in or one entity that came in often, I would hear it in my head and I would say, so and so is here. And if she sat down, she was channeling them
Wow.
because
Yeah.
I could hear his melody all the time,
Isn't that
whenever he
amazing?
came.
I mean, it's just
So it was kind of like
incredible.
they were announcing who they were if I could remember whose melody was what. But that was
there
the
were a
first
lot
time
of
that
them.
they even communicated. And again, it was through music.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's absolutely miraculous, is it not?
Mhm.
And it's
The
available to,
synchronicities are miraculous.
Yeah.
I know. And it's available to all of us. And just because Heather is receiving this in music notes instead of words doesn't make it right or wrong. So, whichever way that you receive this divinity, the way that you receive this awareness, the
Mhm.
way you receive
Absolutely.
Yeah,
information is your own way. You
that's
could
right,
do it
because
through
that's
art.
not how she receives it.
Mm-mm.
But it's how I was. I haven't heard from him for a while, but occasionally I do hear a melody, but not very often anymore. There was a time when it was just constant. Somebody was doing something.
Wow. Wow. What a beautiful
We got
connection.
busy.
Yeah, we got busy. It's not as easy.
We
to just-
started a YouTube channel.
yeah,
That's what it's all about now, spreading our love through our YouTube channel.
and information.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In some ways that we can be in connection with this awareness and this connection to our higher self or to a greater source is being in the state of receiving. And that really, when you spoke that, Heather said that, and it was like wham. I'm like, ooh, like that's not what I'm doing here. Like I'm not. I need to be doing more of that receiving, you know. And the receiving is messages. Receiving it is of goodness. Receiving is of things that we may not feel worthy for, but we have. It's important for us to raise our idea, our self concepts of ourself to
Yes.
be able to be in the receiving.
Because
Sometimes we just need reminders.
we definitely need reminders, because let's face it, we were raised to believe it's better to give than to receive. You were always taught to be doing for others,
We
which it
never
feels good
learned
to do, but it's
receive.
not either
which
or,
is
it's both.
perfectly fine as long as you have boundaries and
That-
you
and-
learn how to receive.
Yeah,
I
and
know
that's-
that was a lesson for both of us,
Yeah,
was learning how to
because we
receive.
really didn't know how to receive. All we knew was how to give.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we're not the only two like that.
Oh
And
no.
that's a perfect example of balance. It's important for us to have balance in everything
Everything.
that we do. Male and female, yin and yang, you know, dark and light. There's balance in everything. Not and too much of any one thing is not good for you, is what my
That's
mom
right.
always told me.
That's right.
Mhm.
Hey, my mom said that too.
Moderation.
Moderation in everything. That's right.
Mhm. Mhm. And we did mention this, that another way that you can be in connection with your higher self or the source is an active spiritual practice or meditation or prayer. And this could be walking, this could be doing the dishes, this could be,
Yeah.
you know, whatever it is that you do, that you take that moment to be contemplative or retrospective, or you know, just to go within anytime that you can do this. Sometimes we do this when we're driving. You know, there's just a part of us that kind of goes somewhere,
Mhm.
and
And
yeah,
you just need to be able to quiet your mind, whether it's with whatever you're doing.
Anything repetitive, really.
Right. You just need to be able to
I've gotten
quiet
a
your mind.
ton of messages while I've been in the shower or when I've been washing dishes, doing laundry,
Mhm.
standing over the washing machine going,
Something
what?
that doesn't take anything of our will to really do, because we're just so used to doing it, but it does quiet your mind.
mhm. I feel that water is a conductor, and you just said the washing machine and doing dishes and in the shower. I
in the
just feel
pool?
In the pool.
The pool,
a
oh
lot
my
of times.
God.
Yeah.
It's like an antenna.
Yeah.
you
And
sound like
right.
it's get
for
in
me,
the
it
pool,
was
a
taking a
message.
bath.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I do. I float around in the pool. I like to spin on a noodle in the pool and just listen.
And
Isn't
for
that
me, it was
crazy?
always, I didn't have a pool when I was younger, but it was always in the bath. It was never the shower because there was too much noise going on, but in the bath, I could be quiet.
Mm.
And that's where things would come to
Do
me.
you get information? Where do you find you get information like that? In the
A
shower?
lot in the shower, a lot in the shower, or yeah, or getting in or getting out. I can't tell you how many times I got in the shower, shut off the water, and ran out here to write something down, and then ran back and finished it, because it was like, okay, it's like now. And I'm like, okay. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a beautiful place. Set intentions and be thoughtful. Our intentions are so very important, and
They're
carry
everything.
so much power.
They are
Our
everything. And your intentions is whatever is going on in your head in a repetitive manner. Those are your intentions, whether you mean them to be or not. You have to be mindful.
That's
Or I
right.
find I have to be because I have such a chatterbox monkey mind.
Yes, and nobody's perfect, and we all catch ourselves. It's the ability to catch ourselves in saying, "Why did I do that? I'm so stupid." You say, "Oh, no, that's not what I want to say." You know, you want to give it to your angels and let it go, and
I know I
be
call
an
myself a
intention.
dumbass all the time when I do something stupid.
But it's habit. You don't mean to, but it's
Mm-mm,
habit, right?
mm-mm.
And
I've had
Right.
to
You
learn to
just
quit.
automatically do.
now we
Yeah.
know that that carries a lot of influence. That carries
And
a
I,
lot of weight there.
I
Yeah.
kind of wonder if we've gotten into the habit of um, putting ourselves down because we're so used to anybody who puts us down, it just repeats, and that's what we believe, and it just repeats and repeats and repeats.
Well,
And
that's
so
how
we
you get
just
rid
do
of
it.
that stuff with a little shadow work.
That's exactly right.
Yeah, and perspective. And
Hmm.
say, somebody else's opinion is none of your business, right? And that it's
Amen.
important for us to cherish and to stay in integrity with our own spirit, with our own self. And they say self-love and
Hmm.
self-care. This is you
Mhm.
taking care of your spirit taking care of the human part of you. And it's really very important, because once you're kind, compassionate, understanding to yourself, and
Hmm.
not, try not to call each other, names that just roll off the tongue that you're not even thinking about. The Once we start doing this for ourselves, it's amazing how this just ripples out to other people, and it's
Absolutely.
effortless.
And
Hmm.
it
Hmm.
just makes everything
Easier.
easier. You
It
have to
truly
start with
does.
And
yourself,
life
though.
more pleasant. You do have to start with yourself. You got to
Exactly.
give up the judgment, give up the name, blame game, all that kind of stuff, and deal with what's there.
Hmm. I'm getting this is not quite in sequence, but they're also telling me it's important when we have our intentions that we phrase them in a positive sense. And they
Mhm.
say that the universe doesn't understand negatives. Like when you would say, "Don't think of an elephant," and what do? You ought to, everybody thinks
No.
of an
Mhm.
elephant. So
Yeah,
don't.
using things like don't
You know,
does not work.
like saying don't fall is a best way to make sure you do. You know.
So you
So
do, you're right. Phrasing is everything.
it really is important, guys. It really is important. And the manifestation phrase, when you say, when you're saying, asking for something, you want to say, "I'm grateful for what I have. I'm grateful for the brand new car that is sitting in my driveway." Even though there's not a car out there, you want to be grateful for it. So
Mhm.
the energy is open to this, to coming into you. And I'm
That's
letting
right.
you know this emotion that comes with this, the having in the present tense
That
is
feeling is, yes, it's the feeling, that feeling of gratitude that makes it happen.
Hmm.
Mhm. And don't say I will be so happy. Say I am happy.
I
I
am.
have.
Right.
I
I am
am.
are
There is
two
no
of the
such
most
thing as
powerful words
future.
you can use. I am.
Yeah, everything's happening now, so I am.
Hmm.
It's it's not something that you'll be able to, or some of you may be able to grasp right away. It sounds like it's a little far fetched, but if you take baby steps and you incorporate one or two of these into your life a little bit at a time, and you see the changes that occur around you,
Hmm.
you'll open up to wanting to do more and more. I've said affirmations to my on my way to work. Every day, and it was really very miraculous what came of it. It really it is possible. It is. I know that we all have or may have challenges or obstacles or opportunities in our life that are enabling us to learn lessons. And it just makes it a little
Does that
bit.
ever stop? I don't think
I don't
so.
think so. I think
I'm
it's
70 and it hadn't slowed down yet.
Yeah, so
no,
it's
and
important.
for me, it seems to have sped up.
Hmm.
There's
Hmm.
just
That's why perspective is important, because these things aren't going to stop. We're going to have challenges. So whether you have challenges with this, you know, egoic mind and limited and worrying and you know,
Anxiety.
hmm, or an open, accepting and flowing and aware that this is only, this too shall pass. You know, that is such an important message for us, and it will flow through and over the bumps and not like hit things. It won't be such a hard lesson to learn. We'll be able to go up over the bump and then back down, because this too shall pass. It's nothing is here forever, the good and the bad.
That's right. And we're not here forever.
Mhm.
no, but we're here for longer.
I guess so.
Humans are living longer.
We are. But, time is moving faster. The planet's spinning faster. Mother Earth is
Frequencies are higher.
frequencies are higher. Everything's rising, the energy. So it affects
And
the humans and every sentient being on the well, I guess everything on the planet it affects,
and
including
they don't
us.
have to come down as far for us to hear them.
So I just have two more statements that I wanted to
You want
point out.
to check out the questions real quick?
Sure.
Let me see what we've got. Can you talk about raising our vibration to connect with loved ones who have passed?
It's practice and belief. Some practice, trust, belief, and appreciate or be grateful for the things. Like if you see a penny on the ground and you could say, is that a message from my loved one, or did somebody just drop some change? You could convince yourself and rationalize either one. But wouldn't it be wonderful just to give them the benefit of the doubt and say thank you. Thank you for the message, and have that gratitude and understanding that it's these subtle connections and happenings or synchronicities that are them trying to connect with us. They're not going to come knocking on our door, and you're not going to hear them say your name. Sometimes you might, but it may
Rarely.
not happen that way for you. It may just be the song that you hear in your head when you wake up and you're like, I wasn't listening to that song. Why is that song in my head? To give them
Yeah.
the benefit of the doubt, to recognize the subtle little signs and synchronicities that are around you, and building on this. Whenever I see 222 or 444, I just kiss my finger and I say thank you very much. And I do it all the time. Every time I see it. I don't know always who it's from, but I know that it's somebody sending me a message, and somebody who loves me, who's reminding me to keep going, keep moving forward. You're doing great. And it's really important just to connect in this way, and this will build
Mhm.
on itself. My father passed maybe 7 years ago, and it was only recently. I mean, I do connect to him when I'm with spirit, but it was only recently that I felt him kind of come up from behind me, and I felt his energy close to me.
Oh,
I was doing something that he used to do, and I think that he was coming through to make me feel proud, and tell me that he was proud of me. And I wasn't thinking of him. I was doing something totally different. I think it was I was eating artichokes. I think it was like, how artichokes are only in season like one week out of the
yep,
year.
yep.
So, and he always loved artichokes. And when I was making
I
artichokes,
love
I
that.
could feel him come up close, like that. Like you get that from me. It was very brief, and I thought of him, and I kind of felt him coming close. So that's all. And I was eating artichokes. That's all. It's all that it is. But just to appreciate and recognize and trust. that these small
The
things
little
are.
things, those
Mhm.
little things. Just notice and say thank you, because it'll get stronger. Sometimes they have a hard time connecting with us as well.
Yeah, they have to
It
come down
works.
to us.
It works both ways.
And sometimes it just takes practice for them to be able to connect.
My David, when who's been gone about 7 years now, it was a smoke alarm. He started communicating through a smoke alarm, which
But
I
he was
didn't
always good
absolutely
at,
didn't believe until I said, "Give me a 1 beat for a yes and 2 for no," and I got it.
but he was always good at electric things.
Yeah, he
What is,
was.
what is that? What is that? What
It's
do
a
you
puppy
have?
that I can't leave alone because she won't leave alone, won't shut up.
It's your new puppy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, ladies.
She
Xena.
was
Oh,
asleep, but she woke up.
Her name is Xena. Isn't that wonderful? A
oh
little
my
black
gosh,
toy
Xena
poodle.
Warrior Princess.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. She rocks. Yeah, I've got
Oh,
another question, Jean.
Yes.
She's
is our higher
absolutely adorable.
is our higher self doing other things, growth on the other side while we're down here? Absolutely. We're
Yes.
only one facet of our higher self, and we could. I've heard many other readers also say this, that we may be having like simultaneous lives that we're living simultaneously in different aspects. So there may be a gene that's out there that's a grandfather. There may be a gene that's out there that's a baby. And there's a gene here that's practicing being a psychic medium. Now, it's just a facet of our soul. And the very first time that I did a past life regression, it was mind blowing. And I realized that my soul can be in a different package, in a different scenario, but it was still me. My thoughts that I was thinking, he was thinking. I saw like a Roman soldier, and his thoughts and his like uh,
Cool.
personal dialogue. What do you call that? The dialogue that's within yourself was me. That was me thinking that. That was me feeling that. It was me inside of that
No.
body. So it wasn't that I was a different soul in another lifetime. It was my soul that is
Wow.
here now was there. It's the same soul. And I had never realized, and when they said past lives, I thought we were a whole nother person. I thought we were a whole nother existence. And we are, except for that soul aspect. And that really brought me closer to the awareness of my soul and the infinite possibilities of the expression of this soul and the fractals that are on the other side. They say, like, if my grandfather reincarnated, how could he be over there when I pass over? Will he be over there,
Think of
or
a
my great?
disco ball and how many facets are on a disco ball.
Yeah.
The disco ball is our oversoul.
It is
Exactly.
it is
So
mind
many.
blowing.
So many.
Uh-huh. Which I want to go back to that. Whoever said something about it, 30% of our soul is here. No, I don't think so, because our soul's infinite, and we couldn't have 30%, in that many bodies to make
But
up
we're
100%. So it just does that
but we're
math
just
doesn't work.
all connected. That's all.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard for the human mind to grasp the concept. So we try and put it in terms that maybe we can kind of understand a little bit more about how we could be here and be there and be other places. The same way that our loved ones could be here and also be with the rest of my sisters and be
Absolutely.
with his family.
Exactly.
I think there
And they can
be a
be in different
gazillion of us.
dimensions. They can be different planets. It's a big universe.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Heather, go girl. She's taking us out there.
It's everywhere.
But it's true.
Yes.
We have I know I'm on a spaceship above Earth. I know I have a life on a ship
Somewhere
above
else.
here. So
Just want to say, hey, Terry Suzuki.
you Terry.
Thanks for coming. So it was it's really You know, what this is when somebody cuts you off in traffic, you're going to say, you know what? I have many different facets. I don't have to get that upset over this guy. He's not in his own soul. He doesn't have an awareness like I do. I have an awareness that I have a soul. So if he wants to cut me off, go, so be it, and on your way. And it helps us to gain a perspective. And when we gain a perspective and we have these life lessons and these things that challenge us throughout our lives, things change when our perspective changes.
It certainly does.
We come out and we see a higher view of what's really going on, and we understand who we are, and we're not as affected by things that we hear and see and watch. It gives us a stronger sense of self. I don't know what that would be called, like a confidence or just a solid sense of self.
A self-confidence. That's exactly what it is.
So Warrior Girl says, I believe our purpose here is to get it so we can create our own universes. Wow. Absolutely. We are already multidimensional beings. That's right.
We are, absolutely. I have to agree 100%. Thank you for that. Thank you for those inputs. I think we got all the questions. Did we do that? Wikis? We did that, didn't we? Okay. Okay, so that was it on the questions.
So Heather, the other thing that you did talk about was the 100th monkey, and that it could be you, or no, I don't know where actually I saw this. Somebody,
it's been around for a long time.
Would you mind giving us a brief synopsis of what that means for you?
I think she would do a better job, because that's actually, she put that in there.
Well, the theory is one monkey started washing his food in the stream, and one by one, the monkeys in his group all started washing their food in the stream until it got to 100 monkeys. And on another island, completely separate from this island, the monkeys started washing their food. It became a collective knowledge after 100 monkeys. Now, I've heard that's true. I've heard it's not true. I don't know, but I think it makes sense. But I'm not quite sure.
I think
100 monkey theory is a real deal.
Yeah, I have
because
to
I've read
agree
both
with
sides.
I have to agree with it.
I resonate with it. So I think that's how we get the energy to rise on the planet, is because there's so many people right now working on themselves and working on their ascension, helping Mother Earth with her ascension, working on the matrix. Well, we're going to get that 100 monkey one of these days. We're going to get it.
I think of it in terms of they're putting out in the consciousness that they're washing the food. Somebody somewhere along the line around the world in that consciousness,
the monkey consciousness,
no, but in the consciousness web that's out around us, picks up that
the
thought,
grid,
and picks up that thought and starts washing the food. So it
works for me.
Yeah, I mean, there are enough people enough monkeys thinking about it, that somebody else picks up on it through that grid.
If all of our energy goes to the grid, if all of our love and light goes to the grid, all the positive energy goes to the grid. I don't know if the negative energy goes too, but I guess it does. We don't want it there. But sending all that energy to the grid from all these light workers that are on the planet right now, it has to make a big difference. And I've been told it's made a big difference. But that's what all of us light workers are here for.
Yeah.
No matter which generation you happen to be in. I think I'm one of the first waves.
And whether you believe that that is true for you or not true for you, just consider what if that was
Yeah.
true?
What
What
if?
if
Right.
all of us becoming more self-aware of our own spirit and our own soul inside of us?
Our own godliness.
What if this could tip the scales
Mhm.
and change and shift into a higher dimension, into a
Exactly.
different density, into the age of Aquarius? I mean, even the planets are on our side. Even the planets have our back. Even the planets are leaving the old behind and getting rid of the things that don't serve us. And the age of Aquarius is moving into higher uh, uh, heart virtues, and like appreciation, compassion, forgiveness, humility, understanding, and valor. Ooh, I got chills head to toe.
I love that valor
Yeah.
because it takes strength to speak your truth. It takes it, and when you're in a society that is totally oblivious to what you're doing and thinks you're crazy, basically, it takes strength. It takes valor to
And
be you.
and when we send love out to everybody, it's not just starting with us. It starts with us, but it goes someplace and is carried on around.
On and on and on throughout the universe.
So that love is getting there. It's not that
Mhm.
we are that strong that we can send it around the world. We're sending it to someplace that is also able to help with it.
And self-awareness also begins with authenticity. And if I may, can I share that one little? I have one little visual. I usually have like 100 visuals, but today I only brought one. May I
Do it.
pop that in
Sure.
there? So this was the visual that I wanted to share, and this was on Facebook, and it's a meme, and I really don't ever share memes, but this one really struck true and delivered in such a
Yeah.
beautiful way. She says, the lady on the left says, "I'm afraid to be my authentic self with people because I don't want to be judged." And a lot of us feel that way, that we hide, that we don't shine our light. And the other woman leans down and says to her, "Hiding your authenticity means you're actually the one judging yourself." So
Mhm.
hiding doesn't prevent judging. It just hiding is you judging yourself. So if we don't hide and we shine our own light, and we live in our authenticity, it changes the vibration around us. It affects people around us. Now, would you say that me coming out and sharing my authentic thoughts, feelings, and observations and experiences is changing maybe somebody else's thoughts, feelings, experiences now? Just think if we all did this. Think of the
Mhm.
ripple effect that affects the universe as well. Just
It's true.
contemplate the possibility.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Just contemplate the possibility of all of this.
It's
Yeah.
we're not telling you what to think, feel, or see. We're just asking you
Never.
to consider it.
Look at it from a different way.
Hmm.
Hey, nobody was more skeptical than me. Nobody on the planet was is skeptical. I'm still a skeptic about things, much less so these days. Too much has happened in the last 20 years. But
Yeah, it takes bravery. It takes
there's
courage.
that valor again.
Hmm. It takes
Mhm.
dedication. What
It
is
does.
it for you? Tell us what you feel it takes. Persistence, integrity,
Well,
sincerity.
Arlene says, I have a hard time meeting like minded people. We all do. But guess what? Look at this wonderful community we're all a part of. And we're all like minded people. That's pretty
Ar-
awesome.
Arlene, have you considered that you might be their teacher? Have you considered that you might be the one to open up their awareness? Have you considered starting a group or meeting with people and talking about these things that you know and seeing if they are open to considering this aspect of themselves? You don't know how many people don't speak about these things, that wonder these things. And by you opening up and talking about it, they said, I've wondered about that. And then you can tell them what you know. And this way you'll find your like-minded people.
Locally.
That's beautiful, Jean, and
Mhm.
absolutely true.
Yes.
Okay, I want to go back to something real quick. I want to go to White Dragon, who says that 50% are now awakened versus not. That's a
56.
big
And he
Mhm.
has
that's a
another.
big number. There's a couple of other comments I want to put up here. Um, Warrior Girl agrees at White Dragon, and we've reached fourth density. It hurts my heart that people who don't know it, and we absolutely have reached fourth density. And there's many of us that spend time in lower fifth density that are on this
Yeah.
planet right now,
Back and forth.
that are ride that line back and forth. One other one. White Dragon says at Warrior Girl, true, and about a month ago it was 53%. It's unstoppable.
Mm-hmm.
I want everybody to be, this is what I heard, I channeled many years ago. It is unstoppable, and the proof would be out there soon.
Mm-hmm.
It's already happened. We're just catching up. It is unstoppable.
And
So don't let the noise and the fear out there get to you, because love wins.
And we need to respond to Arlene.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
I'm off that. I just wanted to say something because it's so important when you, it's can be such a letdown when you're out in reality most of the time. I'm retired. I don't have to be out there if I don't want to be.
Right.
But people that go to work every day and have to listen to the news before they go to work and all of that, hear such negative, fear-based information all the time. It's hard to keep hope.
And
It's hard to believe.
When have you heard a corporation congratulate somebody on something? Or a job well done?
They just don't do it.
No, you only hear when they don't like something.
Yeah.
So it's a very negative area. But as far as them looking at you funny, that's their problem, not yours.
Just move on.
Yeah.
If they don't get it,
There'll be another one. There'll be another one. There'll be another opportunity to drop
And it
those little
may
seeds.
just be that it's the first time they've heard it,
Mm-hmm.
but that little seed will grow, and your having said something will be responsible for it.
And they'll get a synchronicity. They'll read something or they'll see something and be like, "Oh, that lady just said that to me. She was right." You never know what's going to happen. They can look at you
So-
funny and then later on the next day.
Absolutely.
So don't feel bad about it. Remember, that's their problem. You know what you're saying is right and it's true. Be aware that you do know what you're talking about. It's
Just-
okay.
Offer them the possibility. What if this isn't all there is? What if we're, always connected to our spirit guides and angels? What if?
Well, Arlene, if they make remarks hurtful, just send them love and move on. You don't have to
Stick around them.
You don't have to take that in just because they're being hurtful. You don't have to listen to it.
We're not asking you to convince anybody or to argue with anybody. It's just our being. Be the example and say, "I always speak to my angels and my spirit guides," and walk away. And this is leaving it's not telling
that
them.
response. That's a great response. And use discernment with who you talk to. Also, use discernment with who you're trying to speak to.
You probably know before you even meet them if they'll be receptive or not.
That's the fear in them coming out,
It
has to lash back like that. But yeah,
there's no need for that.
To be discerning and remove yourself from any conflict, and you're not trying to convince anybody of anything. And it's very hostile out there. So it's important to be choosy. Mhm.
Morella says they do, and it's hard, but we have to shrug it off, Arlene. I agree.
And it
Just
is
think,
hard.
one of you say you do you. Who says that? You do you. I do
You
me.
do you,
Okay.
You
boo.
boo.
You do
Yeah.
you, boo.
You do you, boo. I'll do me.
And that's what we all need to be doing.
Yep.
It happens, and it's like a tippy toe. I had
Oh,
I
I'm
had a friend
sorry.
for 20 years,
Go
and
ahead.
and only found out about their spirituality when my love passed and started talking to him, talking. Yep. Who knew? Who knew? I'm telling you, I worked with a woman, and I said something about a fairy, and she goes, "Oh, you know about fairies? I never heard of anybody talk about fairies before." Like you just never know. But there's
You
more of us
don't.
out there that are just trying to, get by. It's a wave, it's a movement, and um, if they're not in it, they're thinking about it because this why you're here, what drew you here, what drew you into this world is drawing them into this world. There's phases of people who are awakening up or raising their vibration or becoming self-aware. This self-awareness, that those are going to be my keywords for the next couple of months here. That self-awareness is really key, because once they're aware of their own divinity inside themselves, everything changes the perspective. The perspective
It
changes
does.
for everything.
It does. Wiki
So,
says it's
Wiki,
a polarizing time. Change is happening. When they are ready, the right people will come forward.
oh, beautiful, Wiki.
The
Well
thing
said.
is, whatever path any of them take, it's the
It's
right
the right
path for
path.
them. And we shouldn't be deciding for them what they need to do. We need to worry about ourselves and the path that we take.
Mhm.
Otherwise, we're just judging.
So it sounds like you may be talking to family, Arlene, and that they say you're just an old lady who watches YouTube. And what you say to them is, "Are you sure about that? Are you sure about that?"
Are you sure about that?
Yep. Yep. Um, all the best to you, Arlene, and just ask your
Absolutely.
spirit guides to give you the words that are wise and appropriate for the time that you need them. Yeah. I'm not trying to convince any of you of anything. I'm just offering you a perspective or an a a possibility for you to consider. And I would
Mhm.
never tell anybody anything that they needed to believe anything. I'm just expressing my
You
experience.
can't. You can't tell
Mhm.
anybody else what to do. You can't tell anybody else what to believe.
Yeah.
They're going to
Yeah.
go their own way.
Yeah.
And whatever
You
way
just
they
have to be
go
the
is right for
example.
them. So it's okay.
We just have to be the example
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and walk away if they're not interested.
Oh, and
Yeah.
Melody of Annalie is saying the same thing, that her roomie lies and thinks she's spiritual, but and belittles her. Yeah, they'll come around. They'll come around. Something will happen that is unexplainable that will rock their world, and they'll be the first
Just
one
like it
coming
did
to
us.
you.
Just like something rocked our world to get us where we are, to get us started. It'll happen.
Yeah.
If it's meant to happen.
I really appreciate everybody being here together and being open and sharing their thoughts and their, uh, conversation and what it means for them. And it's just really it's a beautiful. Hmm, what's that?
We're just laughing at White Dragon. Don't tell me
Oh,
what to do. Oh, we didn't get to White Dragon's question. If you have time, can we answer his question about the
sure. We'll
Anunnaki?
wrap it up with that. Sure,
Yeah.
if you still have it.
Sorry, White Dragon, I forgot.
Oh, okay. What do I know about the Anunnaki? Very little. Yeah. I really don't.
Just enough to be dangerous.
I know very little. You probably know more than me. But maybe I can do a little research, or maybe we can have a conversation, and I can dive deep into that. Honestly, I didn't see the question. I thought I thought it was like a reading request. I didn't read it until just now. But I don't know very much about the Anunnaki, so I wouldn't
That's
feel.
fine.
Mhm.
Wisdom Speaker Joe.
Okay, I'm going to put one more up.
Aw. Hi, Wisdom Seeker Joan. Those with different beliefs serve the purpose of helping us define what we do believe. Wow.
True. Very profound, Missy.
Very.
Thank you, Joan. It's true. Very, very true.
Yes.
And that's a great perspective to see it from.
Look at that. Brilliant. And she is the wisdom seeker. She doesn't have to seek any more wisdom. No, I'm kidding. But that's right. We are all exactly where we should be on our own path. It takes all of us. The ones who don't believe and the ones that believe it. It's there's room for all of us here, and it's not right or wrong. It's just where we all are supposed to need to be here, need to be on our own path.
Yep. We do. Jean, thank you so much for being here today. This was a great conversation.
Yeah.
You ladies started it. You ladies came up with all of these concepts. I'm telling you, what we just discussed in an hour was the first 2 lines of their presentation. Wait till you go to 3rd line and 4th line.
Hey, we can do that another show. We should really do this more often, because I like taking it and dissecting it.
Absolutely. It's and applying it,
Yes.
to our everyday lives. Mm-hmm.
That's the most important thing and you don't have to apply it all. Just take a little bit that resonates with you and apply that,
Right.
Just see how that works for you. I've been on this path for a long time. I've had a lot of ups and downs, and I'm sure there's more to come. But it's interesting. You never know what's going to happen day to day. But for the most part of my life,
for doing what you do and sharing all of this wisdom with all of us. And you put in a lot of work, a lot of hours, and a lot of dedication, and it really shows.
Thank you.
So everybody who is on my channel, please do come over to the Crone Zone, and we'll put actually,
it's in the description.
It's in the description.
There's a link in the description.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And there's a link to your channel. Please, anybody on my channel that has not subscribed to Jean's channel, you have to.
Right.
And she's an amazing reader. I go to her when I have issues and have her read me, give me a reading. And please, please, please do it. You'll be so happy that you did.
Yes, she's very insightful.
Very insightful.
Thank you very much,
and
ladies.
Always with love and the highest good of everybody concerned. You never have to worry about that with her.
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway,
we thank everybody for being here, and all of the moderators and all of the chatters, all of the contributors to Terry and Joan for stopping by and being so supportive. We really appreciate you. And Starfish and Morella and Amanda, all of you.
Mm-hmm. All of you in the chat. Thank you so much for being here today. It was a really good discussion, and we love your input as always.
Yes.
I'm not sure. We've got another show on Tuesday at 3. Do you have anything coming up you want to talk about before we sign off?
Tomorrow we will be on with Joan and Terry, Wisdom Seeker Joan and Terry Suzuki from Kigaru Spiritual Journeys. And this, I believe, Joan, it is on Wisdom Seeker Joan's channel. And tomorrow at 4:30. And happy Memorial Day, everybody. I'm going to be able to sleep in.
Yes. Happy Memorial Day. Yeah. Nice to see you, Starfish. All right. Well, I'm going to sign off then. Go out, shine your light. We love you guys. Come back and see us.
Make sure that you take care of you as well.
That's right. Take care of yourselves. We love you. Bye-bye.